Welcome back, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you're having good luck with your gardening and all of your projects. And without further ado, let's get to today's projects. For starters, here's what the old garden looks like. There's still some things over here, but the rest of it's been leveled and flattened. That's because we have a septic tank now. We got a 1,000 gallon concrete septic tank. It's got 2 chambers. I filled it up with water so that when I backfilled it and it rained, it didn't turn into a giant expensive boat. So it wouldn't float away. The guy that dropped it off recommended that you fill it up with water. That way that, because we did get a bunch of rain yesterday, so that was a good thing. She is perfectly level. Having that laser level down on the bottom on the gravel worked out perfectly. So when he dropped it off, we didn't have to do anything. It was exactly perfect. Still settling a little bit. Well, the dirt is anyways. The tank is not going to move. And then we've got this all leveled out and flattened so that we can install the leach field. So the outlet pipe is right here buried. I'll unbury it when I get ready to do the leach field, but it's going to go out that way. So it'll come out from the outlet. There'll be a 90, goes out this way 8 feet, and then it will go to a junction box, which is this concrete block over here. It's got a few inlets on it. So there's some little punch outs on there, 4 of them I believe. So you can make it go any direction you like. So we're gonna come out of that 8-foot pipe, come down here into the junction. It's gonna turn into a T and go this way and this way. And then there'll be a 90 at the end of each of those T's. And then an 8-foot pipe coming out of those, and then that will go to the leach field covers. These guys here, there'll be 7 of these on either side. Those are 4 feet long, so we've got about 35 feet, I believe. 7 times 4, 14, 28 feet, sorry. 28 feet on either side. And then we've got our 2 end caps for it as well. And then we have a 20-foot length of really, really heavy gauge PVC. This stuff is really thick. I think they call it foam core. And this will that will be the pipe that goes from our house underground and then into the septic tank. That way when we're driving over this in the future, it doesn't damage it. And the inlet on that is, well, let's see, the top of the tank is going to be covered with 12 inches of dirt. And then 18 inches from the top of the tank is the inlet. So the drain pipe coming from the house is going to be about, well, it'll be 30 inches underground. So it'll be plenty good. And then we're going to angle it downward. I think you go 1/4 inch for every 8 feet. So this will angle down, going down there for the leach field. And then what else did we do today? Oh, we had to clean the tractor off. They're coming to pick it up tomorrow, so I had to get all the heavy chunks off of it. That way when they're towing it down the road on the monster trailer, people behind don't get hit with giant chunks of clay. And then we'll walk out here, show you where the really big project is. I got as much done as I could with the big tractor. So typically, I think one of the local companies out here does a septic system and everything for about $7,000. We paid a lot less than that by doing it myself. And the bonus part is we got to dig the geothermal greenhouse with the extra time I had on it. And I have no idea what this would have cost to pay someone to come out and do this. This is a 40-foot square. I marked it all off and laser leveled it. Well, at least the corners. I had to take down some of the string, but you'll see that when I get there. And I strategically placed the side-by-side out here so I could ride it back after I'm done recording this video. Ha. Oh, I'm covered in grease and dirt and mud and blood and sand and all the good stuff. All that kind of good stuff. So we got the laser level out here. I had to take it out of the pit because I was driving the big tractor down there digging the 2 holes for the sump tanks for the aquaponics garden. So it's mostly level, give or take 6 inches, I think. Some of the strings I broke on accident, but you can see the string going across. And then we can feather the rest of this out with the small tractor. There's going to be a lot of gravel down here too, so basically we'll just be picking up a lot of the large rocks and getting them out of here. And then I dug a couple of pits for septic tank, or for the sump tanks. Since we're going to have a lot of grow beds in here, we need a large volume of water, so we need large sump tanks. So got about 2 holes about the size of the one that's in the middle of the garden now, so we'll have plenty of water. I got down past all the rock and into the clay, so the little tractor will be able to scoop all this stuff out, and then I can get in here with the jackhammer to square it off and do the fine tuning. This is going to be a very lengthy project, doing it on my own, but I'm very proud of it. And when it's done, it will feed us for a very long time. You know, it's 40 foot by 40 foot square, and it's 10 feet deep. So, whew, there's a lot of digging. So right now I'm basically standing on the clay, and you can see the scrape marks right there. The clay is very, very hard, and there are some rocks mixed in it, but not a lot. Mostly here on the surface. These are larger rocks that came off of the side that I didn't completely get out of here, but we will do that with the smaller tractor, even if I have to pick them out of the ground with a pike by hand, and one at a time. So I want to do this right. I don't want to have to fix it in 20-30 years when I'm old and can't move around too good. And then we'll probably be putting a staircase in here. This is where I've been driving the big tractor in and out. Now up there at the top, that's about 15 feet high right here. 15 feet above the ground here where I'm standing. You might be able to get a better sense of the height if I walk around with the camera pointing at me. This is very ambitious. It's going to be one of a kind. There isn't going to be any other greenhouse like this ever built on this property. There may be some there out there in the world, but they're not going to be like this one. So I guess, yeah, they're going to pick the tractor up tomorrow. Then we're going to clean up the bottom of this with the small tractor. And then I guess we'll start working on the gabions. We're going to have to go get, I think I figured around 54 16 by 4 foot cattle panels, heavy gauge, and then we'll be making the boxes for the gabions out of those. And then obviously we've got plenty of rocks to fill those all in. It'll just be a matter of sifting through the rocks. I'll have to build a heavy duty sifter. The one I made didn't hold up too well. It wasn't meant for these large rocks. And then yeah, once the gabion baskets are down there and in place, we'll be able to start filling them all in. It's going to be 120 feet of gabions, and they'll be about 7 feet tall, 7 or 8 feet tall. I guess 8 feet because they're 4 foot wide. And we got plenty of dirt left over up here to sift and get the rocks out of. Sun's setting right now, so it's getting chilly. It's time to call it a day. Here's what it looks like from up above. It's hard to tell because it's flat, you know, on the screen. Let's see, that took me about a month. It took me a month to dig this. And I worked on it probably about 8 to 10 hours every day. Now, this isn't the only project, obviously. You saw the septic system and our little private range in the back over there too. It's got a 60 foot or 70 foot berm, 10 feet tall all the way around. I was able to level the ground out inside there quite well. There's a couple of dips, but that doesn't matter. Oh, I'm ready to take it easy for the rest of the day. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, pop those in down below. Give us the thumbs up, and as always, keep building and try to be good to each other. Some of us aren't here for very long, and a little bit of kindness will go a long ways. So God bless you all, and peace. Look at that sunset. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then the hills behind. Good night.